In a world that feels like it's constantly changing, what does it truly mean to lead? We're about to dive into a brand new blueprint for leadership, one that came out of a recent ebbf conference in Chile. And trust me, it challenges us to rethink just about everything, from our sense of purpose to our own inner balance. This right here, this was the vision at the heart of the whole conversation. Think about it. It's not just about hitting targets or boosting productivity. It's about completely reimagining our workplaces as spaces that serve a bigger purpose, places that actually elevate our shared humanity. I mean, what an incredible, ambitious place to start. And there it is, the million-dollar question, right? It's one thing to have this beautiful, inspiring vision, but it's a whole different ballgame to actually make it real. So this is the challenge we're going to unpack step by step using the blueprint that came out of these talks. To even begin to answer that, we've got to start with the really big picture. The philosopher Pancho Amenabar was there, and he challenged everyone to think way beyond just business, to really ask, what kind of future are we even trying to build? So Pancho drops this really provocative idea. To build a better future, we need a special kind of madness. Now, he's not talking about chaos. He's talking about the courage to break free from all the old stories and limiting beliefs that hold us back. The courage to genuinely imagine a more just and fair world. And this all leads to a really powerful insight. We're all so obsessed with the next piece of tech, the next innovation. But Amenabar suggests the real revolution has to be internal. It's about reinventing our own sense of purpose so that for once, what we think, what we feel, and what we do are all finally pulling in the same direction. Okay, so if that's the why at the foundation of all this, how do we start applying it? Let's zoom in a little bit, right into our organizations. And this is where another speaker, Farshad Arjomandi, comes in with a pretty sharp critique of the leadership models we're all still using. You can see the whole shift laid out right here. The old model, from the industrial age, treated companies like they were these predictable machines. But Arjomandi's point is that today's world isn't a machine. It's a complex, living, breathing ecosystem. And that means that old school leadership, based on hierarchy and control, it's just obsolete. The new way has to be built on trust, on adaptability, and on a sense of shared ownership. So, what skills do you actually need in this new world? Arjomandi breaks it down into 3 really essential abilities. First, you gotta be able to truly read reality, to see the patterns happening underneath, not just look at the surface level data. Second, you have to be able to manage all this complexity by thinking in systems. And third, you need to be in this constant loop of action and reflection, always learning, always adapting. So, if our organizations need to change from the ground up, who exactly is supposed to lead that charge? Well, this brings us to the most important part, the people. And María Jesús Aldunate's work is all about the incredible power of individuals to build bridges and spark collaboration. To get this done, Aldunate introduces us to a key player, the articulator. Now, these aren't necessarily people with fancy job titles or corner offices. They're the human bridges inside any system. Instead of giving orders, they create the space for trust to grow, and they bring all these different voices together around a mission everyone can believe in. And here's the best part. We can all learn to be articulators. This isn't some fixed personality type. It's a set of behaviors. It's about listening to actually understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It's about finding ways to bring out the best in other people and leading with genuine humility. And this points to a really powerful strategy for creating something new. Articulators are masters at bringing together unlikely pairs, people from different departments, different backgrounds, different worlds, people who would never normally be in the same room. Why? Because real innovation almost never happens in a silo. It happens at the messy, exciting intersection of different perspectives. Just let that sink in for a minute. What a powerful thought. It suggests that real, lasting change isn't built on top-down power or authority. It's built on something way more human, relational trust, and the simple courage to say to someone, let's do this together. So we've looked at the grand vision, the organization, and the people connecting everything. But all of this leads to one final, absolutely crucial place, ourselves. The work of Mónica Martínez and Charles Howard brings the focus all the way in, to the inner world of a leader. To explain their approach, they use this really beautiful metaphor. Imagine humanity is like a bird. It can only truly fly, only soar, when both of its wings are strong and perfectly balanced. This isn't about choosing one leadership style over another. It's about integration. It's about balance. And these are the 2 wings. Now, it is so important to get this. This has nothing to do with gender. These are energies that exist in all of us. For way too long, our idea of leadership has been obsessed with the traditionally masculine energies, action, direction, results. But true, lasting strength only comes when we balance those with the feminine energies of empathy, collaboration, and reflection. And when those two wings work in harmony, they create a whole, integrated leader. A leader defined by 4 core energies: presence, being fully aware and attuned; power, the capacity to get things done; connection, the ability to foster empathy; and wisdom, the intelligence that weaves it all together.
So, in the end, leading this way isn't just about being a better boss or a more effective manager. It's about embracing our full human potential so we can create systems that aren't just high performing, but are also deeply, fundamentally humane.
And that's really what this entire blueprint comes down to. That sweeping, systemic change we all want to see in the world, in our companies. It doesn't start out there. It starts in here. It begins with our own personal transformation, with our own commitment to leading with our whole selves. And that leaves us with one final thought. After seeing this entire blueprint, from that huge grand vision all the way down to the inner work, it all comes down to a single choice. So the real question is, what's the one small, courageous step you can take today to start building this future?